Hello and welcome to the Adapt and Survive series, where we ask members of the travel retail community how they are dealing with the global coronavirus pandemic. I'm here today with Colm McLoughlin, who is the Executive Vice Chairman and CEO of Dubai Duty Free. Thank you so much for speaking with us today, Colm. I really appreciate it. My first question I wanted to ask you is to do with, obviously, your core travel retail business. Now, I understand that Dubai Duty Free had to close its stores in March. Is that correct?
That's correct. We closed in entirety on the 25th of March.
Right.
And we're still closed.
Right. Do you know when you're due to reopen the stores, Colm?
We're not. The lockdown situation was increased yesterday by 1 week, but my opinion is it will be a lot longer than that. Because everybody here, like everywhere in the world, are waiting for an antidote for the virus. There are 7,000 cases in the UAE at the moment, but it's being controlled very well. We have 111 of our Dubai Duty Free staff who've checked positive for the coronavirus. Only 3 in hospital. There are 58 under the Department of Health isolation. So it's not a serious thing, but we had 111. We have tested 3,500 of our staff, and that's the result so far. So we are on close down. Naturally, we're taking no money, except a little bit every day, because we're selling tickets for our finest surprise draw and our Millennium Millionaire draw. So we're taking about 100,000 dirhams every day, but we should be taking about 20 million dirhams every day. Since we closed on the 25th of March, we have dropped versus last year 880 million dirham, which is 240 million US dollars. And we're living with it. All our staff are on standby, they're all being paid. And that's the way we are at the minute. We have no prediction of how long this is going to go on for. But sitting here and trying to give a guess, anybody can guess. I would say we're certainly going to be closed for the next month or so.
Well, it's impressive the number of tests that you've been able to, well, that have taken place, and I think there's many around the world that would be envious of that sort of scale of testing, particularly in the UK. I'm sure you've heard that we've really struggled to get enough testing conducted, and also enough equipment for our frontline medical staff. In terms of the general mood among the population in Dubai, do you feel that people are happy with how the government have responded?
I would say very much so, yes indeed. And even if you read all the media and the newspaper, the comments are very positive in all of them. There has been a complete sterilization program. All the roads have been sterilized, all the parks. There's no complaints about the efforts that are being made here. And they're talking at the moment about the start of Ramadan, and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed ordered yesterday that 10 million meals should be delivered to various places and various people that are in need of that. And that's the attitude here, and the response is 100% positive.
Excellent. And moving back to Dubai Airport, do you know how many flights are currently taking off at the moment?
There are very few flights every day. There may be 5 flights from Terminal 2, and there's 2 or 3 flights from Concourse B, but they're coming back empty. They're just repatriating people that have requested to do so. And they're going to various destinations. There's a flight to Heathrow every day. There's a flight to Manila. There are flights to Pakistan. There are no flights to India. And there are flights to other European destinations. But in total, about 6 or 7 flights a day, plus freight flights.
Mm-hmm. I understand that the period just before lockdown, there was actually quite a number of people still taking their flights to Dubai for their holidays. A number of friends of mine from the UK actually managed to squeeze in their trips just before lockdown. I know that they're constantly reminiscing about those moments at the moment with me, and sharing their pictures and whatnot. And I think that I think a lot of people were very grateful that they were able to get those trips in.
Yeah, the trips, of course, tourism is a big thing in Dubai, and people coming from holiday. The estimate in last year, there were 15 million visitors to Dubai. We're going to lose all that for the moment. Expo 2020 was scheduled to take place starting in October this year, and it's more than likely going to be cancelled. And of course, the effect to somebody like Dubai Duty Free, apart from losing out on the business that we're losing every day, other events that we were involved in. We were scheduled to be in Newbury last week for the 25th year for the spring trials. That has been postponed, cancelled. We were scheduled to go to Ireland at the end of May for the Dubai Duty Free Irish Open Golf. That has, for the moment, been postponed, but it's very likely going to be cancelled because all over the world, sporting events are coming under the hammer because of audience participation and so on. There are discussions going on about operating horse racing behind closed doors, but you know, the value and the excitement of horse racing is that there's 10 or 12 or 20,000 people cheering the horses on. And so there's a lot of other things coming out of it, apart from dropping, as I said, 880 million dirham sales. And it's difficult to know when we're going to get back in, but I'm sure it's going to be at least a month more. And I'm sorry to repeat that, you didn't ask me, but there you go.
Of course, there are so many things for Dubai Duty Free and lots of other operators around the world that they're having to deal with, and there doesn't seem to be any positive news. However, you've obviously been through some similar events in the last 20, 30 years that have really also impacted the business. Are you pulling on any experience that you were able to gain from those events? Are you drawing on any of that right now to try and motivate your staff and also just find the best possible way through this?
Well, only from the point of view of supporting the staff and recognizing that they too are in the position where they don't want to be. As I said earlier, we're paying all our staff in full and people that are on holiday, etc. We have 500 staff overseas who are not able to get back, and they are on extended leave at the moment. And our senior people in Dubai Duty Free on a voluntary basis have taken a cut in their salary, but only the senior people, and it varies depending on category, and they're quite happy to do that. We are encouraging our staff in so much as we can. We have an in-house portal called My DDF, and I did a message to that the other day, very short, wishing them all well. And I'm told that 3,500 people have watched it so far. It was only 2 minutes, but so we are all encouraging our staff and thanking them for their participation and their understanding of the situation. And I think that's all we can do. All of them are very positive about the return to work. All of them are very positive about the efforts that are being done by the authorities in Dubai. And you can see it in the roads, people are obeying the rules. You can see in the traffic, it's easy. When I was driving here to work this morning, it was like a stroll in comparison to usual, Yeah.
Do you think there are any lessons that can be learned during this period that you're able to take away for the future of your business?
I think the fact that some countries didn't react quickly enough is a lesson that should be learned worldwide. I'm happy that the reaction here was very positive and very quick. I think it is important, and you have mentioned this, and I've mentioned it already, it is important to get the whole team of staff behind you and to understand the situation. And it is important that they also obey the rules. And we have this 2-meter rule about staying apart, and we're all in lockdown in the office. Only the essential things are being done. We're paying all our suppliers that we owe money to. And I think to remain a sort of positive outlook on what's going to happen in the future. And it's no big deal to say, yes, we'll recover all that. But of course, 880 million dirhams dropped. We won't recover that this year, but we're young enough to look at next year.
Of course, of course. But my final question for you, Colm, is I know that most people in the industry will be feeling very disheartened and even hopeless right now. And it's very easy to look at the negatives of this situation. Do you have any messages of positivity for the industry and perhaps any advice?
I've been listening to some interviews up to now, and I think what's coming through and is very good to hear, that most people are very concerned about their staff members. They're sharing all the information with them. And we're reading in the media all the time a similar sort of attitude from right around the world, and I'm very happy about that, because you know, and I know the success of any company and any business is how the whole team operates. It's no good having a bad goalie and the rest of the team. You know, we have to make sure all of us are very positive. We have to understand the rules, obey the rules, and play our part in getting back to normal, and then diving in headfirst for recovery. And I'm looking forward to that very much.
Absolutely. Well, you're looking well, and I'm glad to hear that you remain positive at this time. And it's obviously very challenging, not just for the travel retail business, but as you mentioned, the entertainment, strains in the hotels that you own. It's challenging for all those parts of the business. So I wish you good luck during this period. And again, thank you very much for talking to us.
Well, Charlotte, I'm happy that you invited me to. And this newfangled stuff of Zoom is totally and absolutely new to me, rather than just talking on the phone. But I'm happy to do it, and I wish you well in your own company as well. And I wish well to all your staff.
Thank
Bob,
you.
Nigel, the whole lot of them.
Thank you very much, Colm. Thank you.
Charlotte, lovely to talk to you. God bless. Thank you.